children's toy company just built teddy bears with AI chat built inside them. You'd think that's just a smarter talking toy from decades ago. It's not. Researchers say this is fundamentally different from anything before it. For the first time, a toy can actually hold a real conversation back, and the age group most exposed to it can't even talk yet. This isn't a single company or a single product either. A whole wave of startups is now building AI-powered dolls, action figures, and interactive robots. Some designed for the living room, others already showing up inside classrooms. So what actually makes this different from a talking teddy bear from the 90 seconds? The researcher behind a major new book on this topic put it simply: this is the first technology that can genuinely mimic human interaction. Not a recorded phrase triggered by a button. An actual, ongoing conversation, powered by the same AI running chatbots built for adults. Picture a toddler asking their stuffed animal a question and getting a real answer back. Every single time, tailored to exactly what they said. Television kept kids occupied passively. This keeps them actively engaged, the way a real friend would. Researchers argue that distinction matters enormously. Human connection is one of the most basic drives we have as a species. As basic as the drive to eat. Connection and relationship building are quite literally how humans survived and developed as a species. A technology that can convincingly simulate that connection is playing with something evolutionarily deep. So why does the timing of all this matter so much specifically? Why are researchers specifically worried about the youngest children more than any other age group? Book's author, a pediatrics researcher at the University of Chicago, points to something specific. Something happening in a very young brain. Older children and adults already have built neural scaffolding in place before they encounter AI. Very young children are still actively wiring the exact circuits that shape future learning and relationships. Think about everything a young child's brain is doing in those first few years alone. Learning language from scratch, reading facial expressions, learning the basic rhythm of back and forth conversation. All of that gets built through thousands of small, real interactions, mostly with actual caregivers. Researchers worry a convincing artificial version of those interactions gets wired in right alongside the real ones, without the child's developing brain being able to fully tell the difference yet. That's the critical window when language, attachment, and social understanding get built for the first time, largely through real back and forth with real people. Introduce something that convincingly simulates that back and forth right in the middle of that window. Researchers worry about what gets built instead. Book's original working title captured that concern in one sharp image: the Trojan teddy bear. Something that looks harmless, even comforting, while carrying something researchers say deserves real scrutiny underneath. And it turns out, young children are especially unprepared to see through it. Are kids actually more likely to fall for this than adults are? Research specifically cited in this debate found something worth knowing. Young children are more likely than older kids or adults to anthropomorphize AI and to trust it. A recent youth safety survey found something striking, too. Nearly half of kids between 7 and 11 said talking to a digital companion feels like a real friend. Now picture that same instinct, but in a child even younger. One who hasn't yet learned to fully separate a toy from a person at all. Picture a specific, very ordinary moment. A 3-year-old, alone in their room, asking their AI companion if it loves them, and getting an instant, warm, confident answer back every single time they ask. A real caregiver's attention naturally comes and goes. They get tired, distracted, busy. An AI companion's attention never does, and that consistency itself is part of what makes it convincing. To a toddler, a teddy bear that talks back convincingly isn't a clever gadget, it's simply real. If you've watched our video on the AI knows illusion, you'll recognize this same mechanism. Just showing up in a brain with far fewer defenses against it. Adults at least have decades of experience telling real minds from convincing performances. A toddler has almost none of that yet. So how are these products actually being marketed to parents right now? How are companies actually selling these AI companion toys to parents, specifically? Many are marketed directly as a healthy alternative to screen time, and even as your child's first best friend. Right now, there is no federal law specifically regulating AI toys at all. Regulators outside the US have already started sounding the alarm too. Australia's official online safety regulator issued a formal advisory about unrestricted chatbots in child development. A follow-up report from that same regulator found AI companions were putting children at measurable risk. U.S. regulation, by comparison, is still largely playing catch-up. One researcher compared these products directly to a specific kind of food, ultra-processed. Engineered to feel good immediately, marketed as wholesome, while long-term effects remain genuinely unclear. That ultra-processed comparison is worth sitting with for a second longer, too. Ultra-processed food isn't necessarily poison, in small amounts, occasionally. The concern was never a single serving, it was a diet built primarily around it. The same logic applies here. An occasional interaction is very different from a primary relationship. A comparison isn't about banning the product outright. It's about recognizing that, marketed as healthy and proven safe by real research, are different claims. Right now, this entire category is closer to the first than the second. So does that mean every use of AI around kids is automatically dangerous? Is the honest position here that all AI near children is dangerous? Even the researcher raising these concerns doesn't argue that. She points to real, legitimate uses. AI that eases a parent's logistical burden. AI that helps diagnose developmental differences earlier. AI tutoring built on real evidence. It's worth being specific about what those legitimate uses actually look like. AI that helps a speech therapist track a child's progress between real sessions. AI that flags early signs of a developmental delay so a doctor can look closer sooner. None of that tries to replace the relationship itself. It supports the humans already inside it. The dividing line isn't AI versus no AI. It's whether a specific product is trying to inform and support a child's development, or trying to simulate and quietly replace a real relationship instead. There's actually an economic irony hiding in all of this too. Some economists argue that as AI automates more cognitive work, human-centered jobs become more valuable. Caregiving, teaching, therapy, roles built entirely on real human connection. That's a genuinely different argument than the usual technology will steal jobs framing. It's specifically about which human skills stay valuable precisely because a machine can't fully replicate them. Empathy, patience, genuine attentiveness, the very things an AI companion is currently trying hardest to imitate. Ironically, the very skills these toys simulate might become the most valuable skills a child develops. Take a second and think about your own childhood, if you can remember it that far back. Chances are, some of your clearest early memories involve a specific person, not a specific toy. That's not a coincidence, that's exactly the kind of bond researchers are worried about diluting. Which means a childhood spent mostly relating to AI instead of people might leave a kid less prepared. Less prepared for that future, not more. So the real question was never simply, is this AI? It was always, what is it quietly replacing? So if you're a parent actually facing this decision, what helps? First, read past the marketing language, specifically look for what the product is actually simulating. Second, treat any AI toy marketed as a best friend, with real skepticism, not curiosity. Third, prioritize products that support an activity you're doing together, over ones designed for solo use. And fourth, remember that boredom, and even a little loneliness, are part of healthy childhood development. A gap an AI companion fills instantly might be a gap a child needed to sit with. None of this means every parent who buys one of these toys is making a mistake. Most are just trying to give their kid something fun, something that seems genuinely helpful. The goal here isn't guilt, it's information most parents simply haven't had access to yet. Every generation of parents has reached for some kind of technology to make raising kids easier. Slings, television, tablets, all of it. What's different this time is that the technology can talk back, convincingly, to a child who hasn't yet learned to ask if it's real. That's not a reason for panic. It's a reason to look closely at what's actually inside the teddy bear. Technology itself isn't the villain in this story. The absence of good information and good regulation, keeping pace with it, is. If this changed how you'll look at the next AI toy on a shelf, that's why I make this channel. I break down the psychology hiding inside the technology reaching every age group, including the youngest one. So if you want more of this, go ahead and hit subscribe. Drop a comment and tell me honestly, would you let an AI companion toy into your own home? I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and take care of the little ones in your life.